Hello friends, I'm Juan Antonio Acevedo. Welcome to another edition of WDWA Frontline. Tonight we continue the coverage of the 2025 WDWA Holy Grail Tournament. So let's start by doing a quick recap of what we saw last week right here on Frontline. The event started with a proposition from JTR to Black Wall Street, and things did not go as JTR would have hoped, as Demarcus Kane rejected the proposition for Black Street to join Money and Power. From there, we quickly moved on to our opening match, Demarcus Kane taking on Rayo. It was a very exciting match with many close pins, but in the end, the Kingpin Demarcus Kane will pick up the victory. And up next, the guy with the supply Ty Awesome was taking on the wrench hand Shawn Carlson. Now these two have already faced each other twice in WDWA. The first match was won by Ty Awesome, the second one by Shawn Carlson, so this third match could have gone any way. And although these two men know each other very well, in the end, Shawn Carlson surprised Ty Awesome and picked up the victory, moving on to the second round of the Holy Grail Tournament. From there, we moved on to match number 3, Austin Kingsley V taking on Chuck Lennox. And on this match, the help from Steven Fuerte was enough to help Austin Kingsley V defeat one half of the WDWA Tag Team Champions and advance to the next round. And in our main event, the Cake Boss Victor Jones was taking on CEO. Sweet Elite exploded and these two went to war. This was not even a match, it was a fight straight up. And in the end, both men were counted out, which means both of them got disqualified from the tournament, giving Austin Kingsley V a pass straight up to the final of the Holy Grail Tournament. Now the question is, who will meet Austin Kingsley V in the final of the Holy Grail Tournament? Will it be Shawn Carlson or Demarcus Kane? This we are about to find out as this match is up next.
Well, just about set to start off our semifinal action. We heard the announcement earlier about the outcome of the Cake Boss and CEO match, double DQ. We just knew that. So Kingsley moves on to the finals. Whoever wins this match between Carlson and Demarcus Kane will move on. It's Dash and Donnie Diablo along with Jason Heat.
Two big men with heavy hands here in the only semifinal match, given that Austin and Kingsley V receiving a bye straight to the finals. That means both of these men, whoever wins, Carlson or Demarcus Kane, is at a distinct disadvantage in the finals unless they end this very, very quickly.
Jason, are those noises coming out of the wrench hand?
They are the squeals you might expect from cattle being Brandon, which is basically what's happening right now to Ranch Hand Carlson, getting a taste of his own medicine.
And he's getting drug all over the arena right now.
Well, you saw the look in the face of the Ranch Hand as the music hits, and it's not that Carlson didn't know who he was facing, but suddenly when the reality was right in front of him, it became very, very real and very scary.
It's a scary reality to have to face. And he's telling us to be quiet. Again, we don't necessarily have to. But
they heard that all the way in Delaware.
And they're hearing those screams a little further than Delaware.
Ranch Hand Carlson's family are already starting the funeral preparations.
They got one over that time.
You can never count Carlson out, defeating longtime nemesis Ty Awesome to get here to the semifinals. Carlson is many things, a blowhard, 100%, but he is not a quitter.
Well, he might want to quit chopping Kane because this is going to come back to haunt you.
Demarcus Kane defeating the Lightning Rayo. Can that lightning strike twice for Demarcus Kane here at the
Two
Ranson Civic
exploders.
Center?
Calling his shot.
High impact offense here by Demarcus Kane.
And he's got Carlson maybe out against the ropes. I think the only thing holding him up is the ropes and the weight of Kane leaning against him.
Demarcus Kane has the strength advantage, has the speed advantage. The thing going for Carlson is he is too stubborn to know when to stop.
Very true. Very true. You call a lot of Carlson matches, so you get to see that a lot.
Very familiar with the ranch hand. And he is, oh no! The Nurple is purple to match the tights of the Kingpin.
I'm just, those squills, man, they're crazy. And he threw him with it.
Those pectoral pinches just launched Shawn Carlson across the ring.
Nothing good can happen if he gets him up for this.
And I think that's only legal because no one's ever done it before to make a rule against it. Carlson slipping out the back. But you can tell that the ranch hand is rocked and barely able to stay on his feet.
No. And that wheel kick didn't do any help as far as keeping him on his feet. Now both men a little slow to get up.
Well, there's a look in the eyes of the Kingpin, Demarcus Kane, like a hunter stalking prey, hunting the world's most dangerous game. And tonight, that game is White Buffalo.
Well, let's see what he's got in mind now.
Ranch hand tough as old leather. Wait a second, Carlson!
He's hurt, though. Something's going on with that knee. Might have landed a little funny.
That knee may be busted, and that's the second time that the ranch hand tried to land on both feet and instead fell to his knees. And
something was going on earlier because Kane was asking Joe, like, what's going on? Is he all right? Can we continue?
the referee may have to make a decision on behalf of Carlson, given that Carlson is very unlikely to quit of his own volition. Wait a second! It was a ploy, and it was a feint, and it was smart strategy.
Ruthless is the ranch hand, and he knows the history of Demarcus Kane. He knows that leg's been injured before.
And it looks like ranch hand Carlson wants to cause a real injury to exactly where he faked it on his own body. This is 100% the kind of situation that Demarcus Kane needs to avoid, because even if Demarcus Kane wins, he now has a target on that leg for Austin Kingsley V, who is watching this match 100%.
You know he's salivating back there, and he wants this match to go on as long as possible, and ranch hand to dish out as much punishment as possible. Those chops every
insane.
time.
They are absolutely insane. I don't know how they don't stop the human heart for a second. I don't know how they don't put people into some sort of arrest.
No idea. He took maybe 3 or 4 of that count before breaking.
Shawn Carlson has really waylaid Demarcus Kane, now taking control.
Carlson finally shooting back at some of the fans. And a big boot to the face keeps Kane down.
Now, lateral press there.
Not going to get him with that.
Just a 1, showing the indomitable will of Demarcus Kane.
Right back to the leg he goes.
Carlson has slowed the pace, has managed to keep Demarcus Kane on his back, which is very much where you don't want to be in a professional wrestling ring.
No, even if you're Demarcus Kane, and Demarcus was trying to get something going there. I don't know how he's going to try to break this up now.
Shawn may be looking for a submission win.
Possibly. We've seen him use a few submissions before.
Got that heel hook locked in, and now grabbing the bottom rope for leverage, but caught by referee Joe Lance.
That's a miracle. And again, going back to the ropes. This time, Joe checking on Demarcus Kane, and he catches him again.
The ranch hand is persistent, but has to be wary. It's smart strategy until you get disqualified.
And that would have been well within Joe's rights to do there. He warned him once.
Very smart there. I don't know if you noticed, but Demarcus Kane rolling his leg under the ropes in order to make sure that Carlson couldn't immediately apply another submission. Instead, Carlson returned the twister, as it were.
And a couple stomps afterwards for good measure. And Carlson's really feeling himself right now. The fans, not so much. And Kane is taking a lot of damage to that leg.
If someone had a heart attack and you needed to restart their heart and you didn't have the necessary equipment to provide an electric charge, just have Demarcus Kane slap him in the chest, because it is effectively the same thing. Twisted shout there by ranch hand Carlson.
And that may be it. And again, the will you talked about in Demarcus Kane kicks out again, and now Carlson goes right back to that leg.
But this is a marathon, not a sprint, and Carlson is making incremental progress. It doesn't matter that it's not happening quickly. It is clearly, effectively, and Carlson has a game plan, and he has stayed with it. He is causing more damage to Demarcus Kane than we've seen in a long time.
A strut before that elbow drop, showing off a little bit, and the winner in this whole situation is Kingsley.
Well, that leg, that knee, those tendons of Demarcus Kane may well be completely compromised by the time this match ends. Win, lose, or draw for either man. I mean, the best thing in the world, actually, for Austin Kingsley would be for this to also go to a draw. Have we ever had a situation where the Holy Grail winner was determined completely by forfeit?
Not that I know of. That is a very good question. I don't believe that has ever happened in the history of the Holy Grail tournament.
That's it! Checkmate!
Discover a whole new way to experience World Domination Wrestling Alliance with Elevation. A pro wrestling podcast hosted by Big Hoss from Wrestle Talk and WDWA owner Gavin Jackson. Tune in for exclusive interviews, jaw-dropping announcements, and so much more. Elevation every second Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's time to take pro wrestling to a whole new level with WDWA Elevation.
Placement here by the ranch hand in the center of the ring, not allowing Demarcus Kane to reach the ropes and break the hold.
There's not a lot of, I was going to say there wasn't a lot of options unless he can get that leg up there, which he did.
Very methodical, very deliberate offense here by the ranch hand, picking apart Demarcus Kane.
Kane trying to will himself back into it, as are these fans.
Even if Demarcus Kane is able to get on his feet, can he support his own weight? I mean, this is a very muscular man.
I doubt it. And if he is able to support his own weight, how are you going to hit any of your finishers on a guy the size of Ranch Hand?
Ranch Hand really lured Demarcus Kane into a false sense of security, and now a one-legged man may still win this ass-kicking contest when that one-legged man is Demarcus Kane.
Well, Demarcus ran into a back elbow, and now he's going for a ride. Ranch Hand's got him up.
Strength on display by Ranch Hand Carlson. Slipping out the back, but It is very difficult, if not impossible, for Demarcus Kane to capitalize.
Right back down. You saw that leg give out on him. He's telling Joe, like, he can't do anything with it. He can't put any weight on it.
This has long-term implications for the tag team division as well, because Demarcus Kane, one half of the tag team champions here, he may not be able to defend those titles.
Possibly, depending on how long this injury may shelf, if it puts him on the shelf at all.
Wrestlers often work hurt, but it is different than being injured, and I think you're right. I think that this is starting to cross the line into injury territory as opposed to some. Wait a second! How? On your best day, how can you catch someone the size of Carlson? Let alone, this is not the best day for Demarcus Kane.
Checkmate.
And the Kingpin takes the ranch hand.
Wow.
And with this victory, the stage is set. Tonight in our main event, Austin into the fifth will be taking on the fan favorite, Demarcus Kane, to find out who will be the 2025 Grail winner. But first, up next, we have a tag team match. The Outlaw or Ross and Clay Jacob face on the Misused. Earlier tonight, Juan was able to talk to the Misused. Let's take a look.
Thanks, Juan. So last week, you guys gave us a history lesson. Do you guys think Clay Jacobs learned anything from it?
I mean, I would really hope so. I mean, if Clay didn't learn anything by now, he's gonna learn tonight, because there is no way out now, Clay. You brought this on yourself. And if anything, you know who I really hope learned something? Old Bo Ross.
You have way more faith in those two idiots than I do. I don't think they can learn their way out of a wet paper bag.
Yeah, I don't think Clay learned a thing.
How do you think your rivalry will end with Clay?
It ended. It already ended. We finished it after the handicap match when we finished him on those planks of wood. No padding. And yet somehow he's still in our business.
Clay ends tonight, and that's it. Game over.
Clay ends tonight. Is it true or not? Up next, Clay Jacobs teams up with the Outlaw Bo Ross to take on the Misused, and that match starts right now.
Wait a second.
Wow.
Legion has been attacking and interfering in the affairs of Bo Ross, and now they are waylaying this man before this match can even get started.
They are, and Ray, I think that's Jolene, Irene, it's one of the Eanes, and they are using it against him. That's what he said he was going to take Dex out with a couple shows ago.
And now Legion, the former Kalen Patrick, abducting his former friend and tag team partner, leaving Clay Jacobs alone against Misused.
Again, it is again a 2-on-1 handicap match, potentially.
We are hearing terrible sounds from the back, and of course, our referees and our officials are already distracted trying to keep CEO and Victor Jones away from each other. There's not enough people in the building to stop this from happening.
There's not nearly enough security to deal with both things at once. So Legion picked an opportune time, and for Clay, it's definitely not an opportune time. But there's been a huge difference in Clay since you've seen him last, Jason.
Well, we haven't even officially started this match. Danica Myers now saying ring the bell. Clay Jacobs says he's willing to continue, but this is a handicap match for all intents and purposes.
A big running knee followed by that swinging neck breaker, and then only a count of one.
Shawn Cannon in for Misused. Misused of Shawn Cannon and Jimmy Stars. This is your first time joining us for WDWA. They are effectively the antagonists of the World Domination Wrestling Alliance. Possibly the worst two people, and that says a lot, of everyone in this locker room.
Oh, you don't like any of my friends, do you? I happen to like Misused again. Good group of guys, Jimmy and John, but
they have been tormenting Clay Jacobs for months.
And they have brought out something in Jacobs we've never seen. Jacobs has always been scared. He's always been out there. He's a crazy dude. But
he's been possessed, seemingly literally.
You're completely correct.
Now, taking that all out on Jimmy Stars, but there was a reason that Clay Jacobs specifically requested backup from Bo Ross. He knew that no matter how effective the Apocalypse is, and that is what Clay Jacobs is, pro wrestling's Apocalypse. He needed a horseman by his side in Bo Ross because he has not been able to defeat these two-on-one.
But he's potentially not just fighting these two. Whatever's going on with Clay. Wow. Double suplex. I was going to say, whatever's going on with Clay, what's happening in his mind, his voices, he's hearing things he's seeing now. Who's he arguing with?
Clay Jacobs defies mathematics because as far as I was taught, 2 is more than 1. But when it comes to Clay Jacobs, it may well be equal or greater.
You're right.
Welcome to the Killing Fields, Misused. You chose to enter these fields, and now perhaps you will meet your fate.
We saw him light up Jimmy in that handicap match with chops just like that.
How off your rocker do you have to be to pick a fight with a man like Clay Jacobs, especially now that Clay Jacobs, who was already, as you mentioned, a bit unhinged, is now literally claiming to hear voices and see visions. And I don't know if it's a psychotic break or an actual possession, and to be fair, I'm not sure which would be scarier.
I'm not either, and I don't really want to find out. I'm not a licensed exorcist, nor do I know one.
Or a psychologist.
No, I'm not.
Not qualified to solve this problem no matter what. Low bridge there for Clay Jacobs, and this is where the numbers are working in the favor of Misused.
It is, and Clay, oh Lord. I mean, we saw what happened last time. Misused ran away, and Clay was left in a destroyed ring.
It has been a repeated refrain of the evening. Skulls and bones being slammed into that steel, and it has always had ill effect. The question is, Clay Jacobs often seems to be more than human. Will that prove to be true tonight?
And he took a hard bump into that corner.
And Clay Jacobs still coming back. I mean, he's a year back from a terrible, terrible injury, but still, those scars last a lifetime, and Misused knows it, and they are abusing that knowledge tonight.
They are, and they go way back with Clay. They've talked about that. We've talked about it on the air many times. You know, that Misused was instrumental early on in Clay's career.
So what is the obsession then between Shawn Cannon and Jimmy Stars? Is it just that they believe that Clay Jacobs has gotten too big for his britches? Are they jealous of the adulation that he's experienced here in WDWA? Why are they targeting this man?
They said it best when they put out this promo this week, complete with pictures and a whole storyline, a whole timeline of events.
Knocking Clay Jacobs.
Jacobs put his nose in their business. You don't enter Misused world without them taking you out of it.
And now Shawn Cannon here, looking for that pinfall victory. And does it really prove anything tonight if they are to beat Clay Jacobs in a handicap match?
Not at all. They've already beat him in a handicap match. They beat him in sync. Both men had beat Clay Jacobs on their own.
At this point, it doesn't seem like they want victory. It seems like exactly what you said. They want to drive Clay Jacobs out of wrestling, which has me worried that the point of tonight isn't to win a match. It is to hurt, potentially cripple Clay Jacobs.
That is exactly what they're going for. That's what they said. That's what they said they're doing.
Now, do you think that they're in league with Legion, or did Legion just take this as an opportunity?
I have no idea. Legion has done their own thing for so long now. It's hard. Like,
and
for every question we answer about Legion, we end up with 5 more.
Jimmy Stars now with the cover. 2-on-1 assault continues, and immediately Stars into the mount position, now just hammering into the unprotected skull of Clay Jacobs. And it was, as you put it, something got knocked loose in Clay Jacobs several months ago that started causing these visions. I don't think we want to see what happens if you keep causing cranial damage to Clay Jacobs.
I don't either. Not if you're in there with him, at least.
It almost seemed like that was going to be friendly fire, but instead Shawn Cannon making the save. And this has been 100%. Well, not anymore.
Yep. Too late.
Reversal there by Clay Jacobs. but it might be too little and it might be too late.
Well, that crossbody from Jacobs.
That crossbody from Jacobs looked like the house falling on the Wicked Witch in The Wizard of Oz.
It did. Very great comparison. And now both men slow getting to their feet. Jimmy's on the outside.
It's like if the Hulk threw a gas tanker at you, only the tanker is the Hulk.
Good one as well. And, well, I would have just fallen the rest of the way down. He's got him by the beard.
Grabbing him by the braid, almost like a game of tetherball, except that the ball is Shawn Cannon's head.
He loves using Cannon's beard as a weapon, and we've seen Cannon, to be fair, use it as a weapon as well. But
if you're going to walk into the ring with something that gnarly, you best be prepared you're going to be a victim. Death from above by Clay Jacobs.
That may be it. And again, just the two, but he's taken out Jimmy. He's got Shawn down.
Can't question the resiliency of Misused. They are the cockroaches of WDWA. A nuclear bomb could fall on this building, and somehow Jimmy Stars and Shawn Cannon would find a way to walk away, if not unscathed, at least on 2 feet.
For sure, for sure. They'd be out the doors before it hit, or soon after.
Scavengers, and they are poking the eye of Clay Jacobs. There is not a single, well, there's no trick too dirty. There's no road too uncouth for Misused.
No, and as you stated, we've stated, this isn't about wrestling.
And Jimmy Stars can't possibly have thought that cover, just a knee across the throat, as unpleasant it might be, would be enough to keep Clay Jacobs down.
But it was still a 2. Still a 2, and that surprised me as well.
That's a fair point, and that is indicative of just how badly they have hurt Clay Jacobs so far.
What is he looking at? Who is he talking to?
Only he knows, and I hope we never find out.
I hope not either, because I'm sure it's just as scary, if not scarier, than he is.
No, I mean, Clay Jacobs losing control, what little tangible grasp he has on his sanity already. I mean, that is something even you would have reason to take issue with Misused if they bring that holy hell on all of us.
For sure, and that's probably it.
Constant, blatant double teams in front of the referee, and wait a second.
Look who's coming to pick the scraps. We hadn't seen him in a while. I said that. Zakar, we have not seen since he lost his qualifying.
The arch nemesis of Clay Jacobs, the former WDWA heavyweight champion, the leader, I think, of Supremacy, and now looking maybe to get a front row seat at the absolute decimation of his greatest enemy. That's it! Checkmate!
Discover a whole new way to experience World Domination Wrestling Alliance with Elevation. A pro wrestling podcast hosted by Big Hoss from Wrestle Talk and WDWA owner Gavin Jackson. Tune in for exclusive interviews, jaw-dropping announcements, and so much more. Elevation every second Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's time to take pro wrestling to a whole new level with WDWA Elevation.
Well, they'll have to wait until they have officially finished. And wait a second, no, Misused are now I do wonder, has this been the plan? First Legion, now Zakar Shah. It really feels like a Legion of Doom that has been assembled.
It does. A super villain organization. Everybody working in unison to take out Clay Jacobs.
Wait, Zakar Shah seemingly tagging in to this match. What a farce.
Some hugs, some handshakes.
And that's the thing. Legion, Zakar, Shah, Misused, if they're all working together, this is potentially the worst case scenario for Clay Jacobs.
Zakar's taping his hands in the ring and having some kind of discussion.
Not just his hands, I believe he's literally taping his fists. And now Misused setting up Zakar Shah. Wait a second!
Didn't see that coming.
Zakar Shah coming to the aid of Clay Jacobs.
What?
And I suppose since this match started and Bo Ross wasn't here, I don't know, I think that may have been a legal tag. Zakar Shah may officially be legal and entered.
No. I didn't see this coming, but this is wrong. It's supposed to be Bo. Bo's not there.
Friendly fire there by Misused, and Zakar Shah taking 2 for the price of 1.
Good Lord, Shaw's on fire.
This is a completely different side of Zakar Shah than we have ever seen. And wait a second, blind tag now by Clay Jacobs, who cannot be comfortable with this arrangement.
No, not at all. And neither of these guys look comfortable about it. And this is kind of the heat we saw between Kingsley, Fuerte.
Wait a second, Zakar Shah and Clay Jacobs are working together as a team.
In tandem.
And now it's time, potentially, for the Mother's Embrace.
Mother's Embrace, and what? Zakar's got him on his shoulders. We're going to get a TKO.
Stereo offense by the most unlikely duo since Felix and Oscar.
I can't believe what I'm seeing, and neither can these guys. They are staring holes through each other. This is still a very unholy alliance.
And has this been sanctioned by the rest of Supremacy? You'll notice we don't see Fuerte or Kingsley. Austin Kingsley V, he's got a bye to the finals of the Holy Grail, but how can he focus knowing that it's possible that Zakar Shah has gone completely off the rails?
It seems like things are far from over between the Misused and Clay Jacobs, and now Zakar Shah has thrown himself into the mix. I wonder how this will affect Supremacy, especially Austin Kingsley V, who tonight in our main event will be taking on Demarcus Kane to find out who will be the winner of the 2025 Holy Grail Tournament. Right now, let's go backstage to Adriana, who is in company of Zakar Shah.
Thanks, Juan. We're going to have to get a good word with Zakar. Zakar, what was that all about?
You know, people here know that me and Clay Jacobs, we've gone to war together. And when you fight someone, as much as me and Clay have fought each other, you start to build a respect. And today, I just couldn't see Clay take a handicap beat down by Misused one more time. Especially after what they did to me. I wanted to beat Clay by myself, and Misused took that from me. So Misused, you want to involve me in this? I'll make sure you don't forget about me.
Well, I am sure that the Misused will not forget about Zakar Shah anymore. But let's remember that every action has a reaction. And let's be honest, I am afraid to find out what the Misused will do now to Zakar Shah after what just happened tonight. But anyways, let's keep moving on the show, because up next, the final of the 2025 Holy Grail Tournament. Austin Kingsley V with Steven Fuerte by his side takes on the Kingpin Demarcus Kane.
Ladies and gentlemen, this main event match is scheduled for one fall, and it is the Holy Grail Tournament Finals! Introducing first, from the Hamptons, New York, and accompanied by Steven Fuerte, weighing in at 230 pounds, representing Supremacy, Austin Kingsley. And his
Well, that man right there has been the heavyweight champion before, for sure. And you look at our current heavyweight champion, Jordan Evans. Jordan Evans did just that. He won the Holy Grail last year on one leg, as he will let everybody know. And he's defended the belt ever since. You know, he took the opportune time. I get it. Meanwhile, we've got action already going on in the ring, and Demarcus is...
Absolutely. And here comes those chops.
Oh, God.
Those
They hurt
overhand chops.
So bad. You can hear it echo through the... Oh, not another.
Yeah. So nice he had to do it twice, Donnie.
They're so bloodthirsty. And that's the thing. They like this guy. They like Kingsley. The pinkies were up, and now they're just watching this guy get savagely
I just think our fans like violence. Let's be fair, Donnie.
They do like violence.
They don't care if it's someone they like or dislike. They just want violence.
Oh, well, there's some violence, and now Kingsley...
Going right back to that leg.
You knew it was going to be a target.
Yeah,
you knew. You knew it was going to be a target. You can't make your entrance that way. And, you know, you can't think that Kingsley and Forte weren't watching every match that went on tonight. Everybody was watching every match.
Well, it's like you mentioned, he was noticeably limping coming out. That puts a bullseye right on your injured leg. And the fact that people have been watching it, and this is his third match in one night, oh my goodness, look at that twisting knee.
And a
Your leg is not supposed to twist that way.
No, not at all. And remember that, like, Demarcus is had, you know, knee injuries and leg injuries that have cost him some time. He was attacked by Supremacy. Granted, this was, you know, almost the better part of a year ago, and it cost him, you know, a couple of months where he had to recuperate, where, you know, that leg, you know, I don't know if he actually had to have surgery or not, but...
Yeah, that's something we don't know.
No, Supremacy worked him over. He was gone for the better part of, you know, 2-3 months, and then was able to make his return, and now...
He missed that chop, and Austin chop blocking that leg.
Kingsley is laser focused.
I'd say both these men are laser focused. You know, you mentioned earlier, Demarcus is a former heavyweight champion. He wants that belt back. Oh my goodness, what a chop. And Kingsley wants to bring that title back to Supremacy, a title that Zakar once held, you know. So they both have motivation to win tonight.
They do, and the whole Supremacy thing we won't get into, obviously, in this match. We definitely don't have the time. Big suplex for Kane.
Yeah, there's some issues in Supremacy for sure.
Yeah, we you know, we don't know what's going on. We've seen the issues, you know.
Well,
Kingsley,
we got Forte up on the apron. Speaking of members of Supremacy.
Kingsley again. That's all he needed to do. Another distraction by Forte. And
half crab maybe? And look at the torque. He's sitting back deep in that half crab. And the pain is just etched on Demarcus' face right now, Donnie.
It is, and you know, Demarcus doesn't have any reinforcements. You know, you would think, you know, the rest of Black Wall Street or something, but
well,
Demarcus...
we know Lennox is in the building. We know he's here.
We know Lennox was here.
He's in the road. Danica making the count.
Yeah,
Austin didn't want to let go.
No, and that's a good move. He has to count for it. He knows that. He's going to take every advantage he has, and he has to. In the ring against a multi-time champion, a man as decorated as Demarcus Kane, a man that I have seen travel up and down the Eastern Seaboard for the better part of a decade now.
Oh, Forte with a big right hand.
He wasn't going to miss his chance.
And Austin, you know, he's staying on top of Demarcus. Oh, stepping right over that injured knee.
You know, in hockey, basketball, certain sports, you have a category, a statistic they call assist. If Kingsley is able to pull this victory off today, I definitely think there's got to be some kind of asterisk, some kind of little underscore that
Pinky's
shows.
back up, Donnie. Look at the fans. Not to interrupt you, but there are several fans that just had their pinkies up.
Exactly. I'm just saying, give Forte an assist.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. But that's his role right now.
It is.
He's still coming off of an injury. We believe he's been medically cleared, judging from the promos we've seen online, but we don't know that for a fact.
I don't know. Nobody knows. What we do know is Demarcus Kane is basically a one-legged man right now.
And we
Very
both know how
dangerous.
a one-legged man does in an ass-kicking contest, Donnie. 9 chances out of 10, not too well.
Well, Jordan Evans would tend to disagree with you after the last Holy Grail.
Well, that's true, but that was then, this is now.
Yeah, he was the exception to the old adage, I think. At this point, Kingsley firmly in control.
Well, he was. To
Yeah.
Demarcus with a brutal right hand. And Demarcus better stay away from that ring post.
Oh.
We saw last week how his shoulder hit that ring post in the match with Ryo.
And now Kingsley's head just went off the post. And
Forte's running. I don't blame you there because it looked like
I don't
Demarcus
either.
was ready to hit him with a big beat.
oh no, get away, Steve. Live to fight another day. This
What do
could
we
be
got
bad.
going on here? Oh my goodness, right on the hard part of that ring apron, Donnie.
Who's the man? It's Demarcus Kane, but
We have a lot of people in this company that think they're the man. Let's be fair.
that is fair. And a near fall for Demarcus, but Kingsley showing somewhat of a fighting heart.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, all of Supremacy, they all have that competitive spirit. Oh, boy, Donnie. This cannot be good. Oh,
Not
he was going for
happening.
that running boot, and he couldn't complete the move.
His leg just completely gave out.
Right as I was about to say, it's not going to be good for Austin. Demarcus just fell. And another brutal DDT for only a 2 count, though. Demarcus
Did
got
you
out, but...
see how close that was to a 3?
Oh, absolutely. And you notice he didn't have that powerful kick out.
No, he did not at all. To be fair, you just got dropped on your head. Your leg has been worked over pretty much the entire night. Having shoulder
Austin's doing the
issues.
wrong thing here by focusing on Danica.
Nope. That's maybe a 2.5 right there. And Demarcus,
Oh, my goodness. Right on that knee.
it's not
That
supposed
was
to
a
bend that
direct
way.
tackle. Normally you get a chop block from the back, but that was a chop block from the front.
That was just nasty to watch. A leg is not supposed to bend that way, especially not right there at the knee. And Austin hit
absolutely
him
not.
so squarely in that knee, it was insane. Like, it's a wonder it's not bent backwards at this point. Like, it really is. It's just the strength and conditioning of
It's a wonder
Demarcus
he can
Kane.
stand.
He can barely do that.
But he executed that clothesline, though, Donnie. Austin's down.
Yeah, you don't have to stand too long for a clothesline like that. Good move by
Austin going
Austin
to the
getting
floor.
out of it.
Yep, taking a breather.
That's it! Checkmate! Discover a whole new way to experience World Domination Wrestling Alliance with Elevation. A pro wrestling podcast hosted by Big Hoss from Wrestle Talk and WDWA owner Gavin Jackson. Tune in for exclusive interviews, jaw-dropping announcements, and so much more. Elevation every second Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's time to take pro wrestling to a whole new level with WDWA Elevation.
reinforcements right there. Demarcus, he's not able to really capitalize. I don't even know if he can get up.
He's setting in the ring. He's up to a setting position, but he hasn't moved very much.
He's trying to conserve energy or conserve whatever he's got left in that leg. We've already seen it give out.
And you notice Austin's already back up. Well, Demarcus is getting up. Forte on the apron. Down goes Forte.
And again,
another chop block. No, that's what, like the third or fourth chop block in this match?
I think so. This isn't going to be good.
Oh, man, just torquing that knee.
And there's got to be some tears, at least strains, contusions.
Oh yeah, those tendons and ligaments, they're hurting right now for sure.
They're not made to bend that way. Muscles aren't made to bend and stretch that way. And now he's got that submission firmly locked in. And this isn't just working on that knee, that leg. Depending on the angle you move or the way he moves, that's going to hit your lower back, that sciatica area.
But though, Donnie, as much pain as this is causing Demarcus, I'll give the Kingpin his props. You ain't going to beat Demarcus Kane with a half crab.
Probably not.
Will it hurt him and take the pain? Yeah. But you ain't going to beat him. And look at that overhead suplex.
So nice. He's going to do it twice.
There you go. But look at how slow he is getting back up to his feet.
Yeah, that leg is completely done.
And Forte, there's that big boot. He missed it.
Well, he got him with that.
He missed it that time.
Bullseye.
I think that takes care of Forte for the night.
I don't know. Hopefully. Maybe for the night. Maybe not.
Well, you and I both know how vicious that kick is from Demarcus.
For sure. And now he's got Kingsley in the corner.
If he set him up for, I thought he was going to whip him in. Oh, there goes Danica.
Wrong place.
Poor Danica. There's that Kingpin punch. As you would say, Donnie, checkmate. It's over.
It is.
I mean, we can count the
2, 3, 4.
But Danica's down. No ref. And here comes Forte.
Nobody's going to stop him now.
Oh, nope. And he's delivered. Oh, there's Lennox.
There we go.
We spoke too soon, Donnie.
Well, I didn't even know he was still in the building.
Oh, man. Did you see that super kick to Kingsley?
Amazing. He just caught him square in the chin, and it's night time for Kingsley. No bedtime story.
Both men are down, Donnie. Both men have not recovered.
Who's there to count it?
Danica may recover before either one of these men will.
Maybe. Hopefully. We can get something going, some kind of conclusion.
Austin's starting to stir. He's looking around.
He is, but so is the Kingpin.
Yep. And just think, Donnie, what will this do to the man that wins this tonight?
Well, hopefully they get some time off between their next match because this has been an absolute
they're going to need
war.
it.
But, we've said it. It's going to give you an open shot, not just for the WDWA World Championship. You can go after any title you want.
And at any time you want. As you touched on earlier with Jordan, he cast in on a very prone Clay Jacobs.
30-minute Iron Man match.
Right.
Jacobs versus Zakar. Zakar picked up the victory, showed he was the superior wrestler, and then immediately got speared out of his boots and the match was over. So he held the belt for all of 15 seconds.
And that's what it does. It's not just who you cash in on, but when. And speaking of who and when, Austin may need a new hand after that finger stretch by Demarcus Kane. Is he going for it again?
The fans want him to break Kingsley's fingers.
He keeps that up, he's going to break his whole hand.
These are the same people that are doing the pinkies up, and you want to break his fingers?
I tell you, they're twisted, Donnie.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy crowd.
Oh, boy.
Marcus
This
has
is
him up.
not going to be good for Austin.
Not if it hits that leg. It's still
Donnie,
favored,
it's
man.
JTR.
Well, we
And he's
saw
got
this.
a belt buckle in his hand.
We talked about this last week. What Demarcus Kane did to JTR, it's not fair. It's not right.
Well, it's not fair what he just did to Demarcus Kane.
Fair play.
Demarcus didn't physically touch him. And, well, Donnie, we have a winner.
Wow.
By hook or by crook, Austin Kingsley is your 2025 Holy Grail champion.
And now we have more questions. JTR just came out to help Austin Kingsley the fifth.
Oh, we both know he didn't do that to help him. He did that to get even with DeMarcus. Because JTR, he's got to be the center of attention. He thinks the world revolves around him.
It sort of does, but
maybe your world does. Mine doesn't.
well, I'm just saying. Now, like, and Kingsley's got to be wondering this too. Like, JTR came out, and yes, he had a score to settle, a huge score to settle with Demarcus Kane. But at the same point, he still came out and helped you win the Holy Grail. You got a title shot, whatever. Is he making
And look
moves?
at Gavin. Just look at Gavin right now, Donnie. He is disgusted. But he has to give the cup to Austin Kingsley. And remember,
now Kingsley's probably going to drink that Virginia.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was about ready to mention, remember the champagne.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna be honest for a second now. We might not like Austin Kingsley V, but we cannot ignore how damn good he is and how much of an amazing year he's had so far. Austin Kingsley V is the 2025 Holy Grail winner. So congratulations to Austin Kingsley V and Supremacy on this huge victory. It's a big night for them. And with this, we come to the end of this episode of WDWA Frontline. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I
don't fucking understand it. I don't fucking understand it. What more? What more do we have to do? What? We've done everything. I'm actually a little concerned because I don't know if there's anything left in the tank that we can do. We've done everything.
Stop. We just have to accept the loss for once. We got played. That's all. But what happens after any loss? You get back up and you work towards a better, more dominant win. Clay didn't win. Zakar helped Clay win. Zakar won that match. And now what did Zakar do? Like every idiot before him has done. He's inserted himself into our business.
Into our world.
Yeah. And we know what happens to people in our world.